Today we're diving into a plot straight out of a spy thriller, but sadly this one's very real. Imagine attending a high-profile Brexit debate at the heart of British democracy, and seated just behind you are not ordinary guests but Russian spies. Well, you don't have to imagine it, because it actually happened. Yes, folks, Russian agents attended a Brexit event right in the Palace of Westminster. According to a detailed investigation by BBC News, 3 Bulgarians convicted of spying for Russia, Orlin Rusev, Biza Jambazov and Katrina Ivanova, were spotted attending a Brexit event in Parliament back in May 2016. And this astonishing revelation has sent shockwaves through Westminster, raising serious questions about security and infiltration by foreign agents. But who exactly were these spies, and how on earth did they end up casually attending a Brexit debate in one of Britain's most secure and iconic buildings? Let's unpack this wild story step by step. Orlin Rusev, the leader of the UK-based Russian spy cell, has quite the colorful past. He moved to the UK in 2009, working initially as the chief technology officer at a financial services firm, a job that required frequent trips to Russia. But by 2012, Rusev was fired after being caught siphoning off nearly £100,000 over 6 months. Instead of disappearing into obscurity, Rusev reinvented himself as a businessman, attending industry events and, evidently, parliamentary debates. His right-hand man, Biza Jambazov, was equally adept at blending into political circles. Jambazov, along with fellow agent Katrina Ivanova, joined the Bulgarian Socialist Party in early 2016, actively participating in administering Bulgarian elections through the embassy in London. Photos published on Facebook even show former Bulgarian Prime Minister Sergei Stanishev handing them their BSP membership cards. Clearly, these weren't ordinary spies. They had deep political connections. The event they attended at Westminster was sponsored by former West Ham MP Lynn Brown, now known as Baroness Brown of Silvertown, nominated for a peerage by Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer. And interestingly, Baroness Brown claims to have absolute no memory of the event and insists she never knowingly met these individuals. There's no suggestion she or any attendees were aware of their true identities or intentions, but this raises troubling questions. How easy it is really to infiltrate the corridors of power in Britain? Photographs unearthed by the BBC investigation reveal that Rusev, Jambazov and Ivanova seated directly behind prominent figures like Georgi Pirinsky, a former Bulgarian politician, who at the time was a member of the European Parliament. Other high-profile attendees included Roberto Speranza, Italy's former health minister, representatives of Romania's Social Democratic Party, and even a local Labour Party councillor. And these spies weren't just in the background, they were right in the thick of political networking. The event itself was advertised by the BSP as hosting representatives from all parliamentary parties in the UK Parliament, though it remains unclear if that fully transpired. What is clear, however, is the alarming ease with which these spies managed to gain access. This revelation has rightly prompted strong reactions from British politicians. Former Conservative Party leader Sir Ian Duncan-Smith quickly called for Parliament to investigate further, warning about the ease of access and the risks posed to national security. He expressed serious concerns about the potential for espionage within Parliament, highlighting vulnerabilities that spies could exploit simply by bumping into, meeting, or even entering offices of key political figures. Parliamentary officials have defended their security measures, emphasizing that Parliament is a public building, facilitating thousands of visits each week. They insist they have robust security processes and the safety of all working or visiting Parliament remains their highest priority. Yet, this incident starkly highlights potential weaknesses in these processes, raising legitimate questions about how spies managed to slip unnoticed into such a significant event. The stakes of this espionage scandal are even higher when you consider the wider activities of Rusev's spy cell. And according to court records, Rusev and his colleagues were not merely passive observers. They conducted extensive surveillance across Europe, targeting enemies of Vladimir Putin's regime. Their targets included investigative journalist Christoph Grozev and Roman Dobrokatov, alongside Russian dissidents and political opponents. And this wasn't just casual spying, this was serious espionage orchestrated directly from Russia. Investigators also uncovered communications linking Rousseff directly to Jan Marsalek, an Austrian fugitive hiding in Moscow after fleeing fraud charges relating to the collapse of the payment processing giant Wirecard. Marsalek, an established asset of Russian intelligence, coordinated extensively with Rousseff. Emails confirm Rousseff was already in contact with Marsalek around the time of the Westminster event. The spy cell's connections weren't just dangerous, they spanned powerful political and financial networks. And the revelation also comes amid growing concerns about foreign espionage in British institutions. This isn't an isolated case. In recent years, Parliament faced similar threats from other state actors. Just last year, former parliamentary researcher Christopher Cash was accused of spying for China. And 2 years prior, MI5 identified Christine Lee as an alleged Chinese agent infiltrating Parliament. And these cases collectively underline serious vulnerabilities and ongoing threats from hostile states. So what happens next? The convicted spies, including Rousseff, Jambazov, Ivanova and their accomplices, await sentencing following their recent convictions at London's Old Bailey. And meanwhile, security officials and MPs urgently debate how to tighten Parliament's defences against such alarming infiltrations. For everyday citizens, this shocking incident highlights critical questions about transparency, accountability and national security. How did Russian agents infiltrate such a sensitive event? How many similar cases might remain undiscovered? And what concrete steps will Parliament take to ensure tighter security moving forward? As these convicted spies await their sentences, Parliament must confront uncomfortable truths about how vulnerable Britain's democracy remains to espionage. And this case isn't just about a one-off security lapse. It exposes a systemic issue needing immediate attention. And here at Outside Views, we'll continue tracking this extraordinary case closely, bringing you updates and insights as they unfold. And if you found this breakdown informative, be sure to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more exclusive deep dives into political intrigue and espionage scandals. Thank you for watching, stay vigilant and see you in the next video. And the next video is already right here in the end screen.